What's good, family? It's your boy B-4ReaLL. You can call me Goody. And this is another episode of the B-4ReaLL podcast. I'm back here with a close co-worker that I met, and we built from the beginning when we first met. And it's led up to this moment now where we can just tell we resonate on that same vibrational level. We had the same thoughts and views on a lot of topics, and I introduced him to what I started here, where that's what basically every conversation that we were having, I'm saying, like, we having those same conversations on the B-4ReaLL podcast. So of course I want to connect with people who, just anybody who I meet or who I talk to, that I feel we has good insight on the type of messaging that we're privy to on this channel. So anybody out there who I meet or who contacts me, who if you think that you have an opinion or on something that I said or something that we were talking about, please contact me. My email address is theb4rellpodcast@gmail.com. Of course, you can send me a DM, leave a comment. However you can get in contact with me, and we'll discuss. And I want to eventually have call-ins on here, so I can have these conversations more conveniently, as long as it's clear enough, so we can just discuss anything at any point in time. I can have my other co-hosts on at any point in time, because we talk about, us three, we talk about stuff all the time. We had 2-hour conversation while I was at work. Probably shouldn't have, but we had like a 2-hour conversation while I was at work the other day, just talking about shit. And one of them said, we need to record this, and I'm like, but I mean, that's what we have it for, because it's so natural for us to do what we do on here and to just talk about the real shit, because this is the time to do it. This is the shit's hitting the fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we didn't talk about it before, we need to talk about it now. It's the truth age, and people are being forced to talk about what the fuck is going on. So this is natural. And Carlton, yeah, what's your IG? Go ahead, what's your ID?
My IG is 410 Slaughter.
410 Slaughter.
Slaughter.
Yeah, so you can find him on there, follow him on there. But one of the topics that came up at work, because that's where everybody fucking talks so many politics. Most people say, I don't talk politics at work, but that's probably where you talk the most politics, because you're around these people all the time. So at least with the people that you're comfortable with, you're probably talking about what's going on. And we are not, strange to that. But one of the topics that we were talking about with one of our other female co-workers was the Bill Cosby thing. And of course, we know that Bill Cosby was accused of sexual assault, supposed to be serving 3 to 10 years. He's already 82, 81. I want to say he's 81. But it's just sad, of course, to see one of our elders go down. If he had did it, it's still sad to see them in this state, having to deal with those kind of circumstances. But they deserved it. Then they have nobody to thank but themselves. But in this case, things look a little bit jaded. I'm seeing, I only look into the things that, at first, if I had a bad feeling at first about it, and like of course with this one, it went away and came back, and this one didn't sit well in my spirit, so I looked into it, and looking at the facts, I'm calling bullshit, and I think it's a travesty what just happened. It seems that we have just witnessed another public lynching of one of our own, and I love everybody. I'm human first, but they play teams in this country, so it matters, because it matters to our livelihoods. So you got to think teams in maneuvering in this country, and on my team, Bill Cosby was on my team, and it's sad to see. And I feel like it was another public lynching that we have seen time and time again from the entertainment realm, where these entertainers are Jude and just held to these such scrutiny. And sometimes they make it's self-warranted, and sometimes it's brought about to them for reasons that are not being perpetuated, or propagated, I'll say. So, that's when it leaves it up to us to smell the bullshit and look into it, or just to take the headlines and believe what we're being fed. And if you could say that if somebody steals your wallet that you wouldn't leave it around them again, I would say that every headline that you see, you need to look up if it holds any weight in anything in your life. I will look that shit up, because we cannot trust this fucking media. we can't. If somebody steals something from you or lies to you, you're always worried what they say after that. Then you need to be worried of every fucking thing.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? Every fucking thing that comes up across your screen, your cell phone screen, your television, everything. I don't care if they black or white. Looking at everything that's being motherfucking said, because it's so many agendas out here, and we can just see everything around us that we can put our finger on. It's probably out to get us, or somebody's behind it that don't give a damn about you. So Bill Cosby was playing with the wolves. You know what I'm saying? He was up there amongst the haves in the country, relatively, and it seems that he got into it with the wrong ones. And of course, we always thought that the NBC situation was where he tried to buy NBC back in the 90s, and was basically blocked. NBC was clearly selling they were taking bids basically from a couple of other people. I know General Motors was one of them, but when Cosby came after hearing that, they said they weren't selling it, they weren't taking offers. So basically they shielded him from that, and it's been said that he suffered some consequences past that, but that could have played in the now. That definitely didn't help him, because he wanted to basically make messaging, create more shows as he already had that showed a positive light, right, for black people. So that's going to put you in a certain category amongst the bourgeoisie, where you're going to have a flag over your head. You know what I'm saying? Like,
fights against the agenda.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's clearly an agenda out here. We see that we're on the low man on the totem pole in this country economically. That most of our neighborhoods have businesses from people that don't fucking deserve to have businesses in our community. Why? And we've been here. We earned stake here. People come from out of the country here to make their dollar and their dream, and they making it in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And it looks crazy, but we've normalized it, and we can't really do much to change it other than get our shit together and buy the land back ourselves. But that's going to take time. But these are all things that's fighting against us. And I'll say that Bill Cosby in his history was one of the faces that was fighting for us and fighting for good causes, period. He traveled around to, historical black colleges, trying to tell kids to look into their history, look into their past, learn about themselves. Look on YouTube, you can find all kind of shit, about Cosby.
The wardrobe with the characters on the show. He's wearing a black college logo. Yep. All the time.
Yep. Always pushing for us to go to college and everything. And it's before I get into like a lot of the facts, what's your take on the Cosby situation, you think, Carlton?
I think it's just, I really don't understand how people don't see how it, not necessarily that it is a conspiracy, but that it could be. It could be somebody plotting against him, pulling strings. The media is not really owned by too many companies. I think it's all the TV you see on TV is, every station pretty much is owned by
a couple of companies. It's about six. It's about six companies.
Yeah. So no matter what you think you're seeing, they still guiding you and steering you into what they want you to think.
Absolutely.
And people don't see that. People just, I don't understand. It's crazy because it's like, just knowing that, it should make it clear to you that somehow, you know, it could be conspiracy. It's not that complicated, you know. Yeah. To me, it isn't.
It's a lot of it's. I mean, and that's the thing that we really need to discuss, because we have the Me Too movement going on now. You know, it's in full effect. And it's definitely something that needs to be exposed if individuals are committing these crimes, and there is a lot of that.
Some of them
right, and it's a lot of that going on.
Right.
But we still have to be wary that over these years it has been a lot of women that come out and accuse men of stature of sexual assault, and we see a lot of them do it for their own personal gain. Right. They basically we see it as the man got caught slipping, right, in that he allowed this girl to, you know, get position on him to get money out of him. You know, you allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
You know, in the way you was moving. So that's been a narrative for years, where these women get paid off out of settlements just because they accused a man of doing something that they didn't want him to do, but they really did, and it's just their word against his. And instead of going through all that, because if you've ever been to court, it's not the best place or the first place you're going to choose to just come every day. No. So if you in this big, long, drawn out thing, and you got other shit going on because you trying to make money to fucking, for one, pay for this court situation, you may got it's possible you might got to pay a settlement, so you got to keep all that in mind, right, while you're moving, trying to keep your own engine flowing. And you like, yo, I just pay this little bit of bread I got last month doing this. I'm just gonna fucking pay her off with this just to get this out of my hair, you know, and settle out of court without a conviction.
And then they come back
and then
later.
Right, and it could, you know, but most times it can't. And this is what happened in this case with Cosby, is that they went against the Constitution to even get this case pulled back into contention in the first place. The case that happened in 2004 when they first
mistrial.
Right, it was I don't know, it was thrown out, period. I think it was a mistrial, or it was thrown out. Either way, the lawyer for Constance had said that she changed her story, said that she had changed the story several times to get Cosby convicted. On the actual stand, she changed her time 6 times, and she changed her story 6 times. It was reported. It's on record that we can look up on Google now that she changed her story 6 times. That she had said that she had admitted to consensual sex with Cosby, that she was blowing his phone up. They have phone logs of her blowing his phone up before and after the said day.
Wow.
And yeah, all this shit, and it's like it's right there for us to see, but you gotta have motivation to look, and they affected that motivation by throwing and putting all these women to come up, because now the numbers create,
just make it seem like
it creates doubt. It creates doubt that that is not true.
That's why so many women.
Right, and that's if you don't have evidence, that's the only way to build a case. And basically they were bringing things up from TMZ, and they said that it was reported that court case that got him locked up was a fucking circus act. They said they were bringing all kind of shit in from just people's reports, from just celebrities' reports of thinking, basically being swooned by the reports that are just from seeing the 50, 60 women come out. They were just making just generalizations they were bringing up during the trial. They were bringing up TMZ stuff, like all kind of just bullshit. They basically convicted him from tabloids and gossip.
The court of public opinion. Yeah,
from public opinion. He basically got locked up for public opinion. And that's where we need to fight this kind of shit, because we got to be the only good. Nope, they're not going to look to save us. So we're going to be the only ones that can step in and say, nah, look at the facts. Right. But we can't be the ones that say, the fact is 50 women came out, without looking into the actual court cases, because it's actually convenient that the 50 women or 40 women that came out, that their cases can't be taken seriously, because they may have found out the holes in their cases the same as they found in Constance's. And that's why hers got thrown out in the first place. Her lawyer even asked for an apology, a personal apology for putting him, for lying to him.
Yep.
So he dropped her and wanted an apology because she was such a liar. They have and there was a report that, you just sent me an article yesterday saying that one of the girls who played on the team, but she was a basketball player, I think.
Basketball player,
yeah, she was a basketball player. One of the girls who played on the team stayed in the room with her, and they were actually just having drunk talk, and she was saying that, it was some other celebrity that she had messed with, and said that she could just say that they did something to her and get money. She wouldn't even have to be in college. She'd be good. She said that.
She said she told her on like 3 different occasions too.
Who? That person?
Mm-hmm.
It was somebody else than Cosby.
Together. Yeah.
They stayed together several times
on away games.
Right, on away games they always stayed together. But this Constance is saying she don't know her. She claiming she don't know her.
Right.
So it's like you can see the holes. Like it's cover ups. Like
right.
I mean, the one girl, what's her name? Janice, whatever her name is. She came out and said she was lying.
The model.
The model, yeah. Top model. Whatever, I'm not gonna judge that, but top model, she came out and said that she was lying, and she was on there. You could tell looking at her when she was talking that it looked like she was lying.
Janice Dickinson,
yeah. You could tell that she was lying just from what she was talking. So, like, then she came out and said it. So it's a thing now. Are we now going to look into the fact that there is a case that these women are lying as much as we want to condemn and be so quick to say, oh, fuck Bill, he's a rapist, throw him in jail. See, we can't connect our own personal situations, because there's plenty of women who have been through these situations and didn't come right out and still haven't come out and still can't really talk about, the sexual deviancy that may have happened to them, and it shouldn't have happened. I feel sorry for everybody who it has happened to, but that doesn't make these girls' stories true, and we need to expose the ones who are lying and using this thing, because it disrespects all of the women who really have this going down.
Right.
So all the women out there who fight tooth and nail against people like myself who look into facts, what I'm saying, and I have reasonable doubt, but it's calculated reasonable doubt.
You can tell who they are when you talk to them, though. Yeah,
but it's just the people. Some people. I know that people connected to their own story, and they'll bring emotions come from that. And now Cosby is the person who hits you. I mean, who assaulted you. But that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we gotta look at things around it. Now, I'm going to bring into the conversation that there was a $341 million pipeline that was said to be built in I want to say, I'm about to look it up right now. It's right here. I want to say it was in Michigan. What's it say? I don't see a place. Moving company can do. Yeah. Either way, it was a gas pipeline that was being built, and Cosby's wife, Camille, had made an article talking about said we must galvanize against another encroacher, a proposed $341 million gas pipeline through the region. And basically it's a fight that her family, including Cosby, was in, and that was in 2014, and in 2014 that's when all these women suddenly came out, and that's when the abundance came out. He had a couple of accusers in earlier years, probably 2, that came out and said something, and basically they just were paid off on a settlement or whatever. But there was a couple of those who happened, but then basically they just saw that was a possible thing. I would think, I'm not saying that this is just an opinion, a theory, but I'm just saying if these companies, because it's all mob justice basically. So when these companies now see you as a threat, then they're gonna start diving into your history, and these are like the money, the heads of our economy right now. So they have the resources to do the research, and the connections. So they'll find out what you had going on and then just try to exploit that because you had even an inkling of that going on before. You know, so then they say, oh, he had a couple of accusers, okay. And basically that just meant that he was messing with different women. He was an adulterer, and that's how he put himself in a situation. But when you in the bourgeoisie, they throwing women at you, they throwing drugs at you, they tell you to come to their parties. They, you know what I'm saying? Like they're presenting that lifestyle to you, and they know that they can burn you with it later. You know, and I mean, you see it in all the Illuminati fucking stories and allegations from all these people saying they have gay sex and all kinds of stuff like that to get to fame. And I don't know about, I can't confirm any of that shit, but I just know that even Cat Williams would talk about the parties and stuff they would bring them to, and they be doing coke and shit in front of each other and all kind of crazy sex shit. So they throw that shit at you when they're accepting you to be in the bourgeoisie of the country, the black bourgeoisie. But all I'm saying is they know that they can use that shit against you afterwards, and that's what happened with Bill. It's more likely for a woman to be in a sexual situation with a man of stature consensually. That, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the way women are driven. I'm not saying all women, but most women are driven by what you can offer them mentally or circumstantially, and you know, possession wise. And I'm saying that the men with the most have the easiest access to women. That's just how it is. As a fact. We can't say that that's not a fact. So that means that they're having consensual sex more than they would need to have deviant sex. And if drugs are involved, it's probably because they're into doing them themselves. And when we look into the Cosby case, and we know in this justice system how they take children and they get them in these rooms and they investigate them, and men too, and they back them into a corner because they're trained to do so, to get them to say something that can incriminate themselves. And in this case with Cosby, and he was trying to just dead all this shit, they asked him, the reporter, I mean whoever it was, she asked him if he had, you know, got a prescription for Quaaludes during the 90s, and he said yes. And she asked him if he at any point in time had intention of having sex with women with these Quaaludes, and he said yes. That meant, in his mind, that he was going to use them to have sex with women, as in for himself. If they wanted to have them, he would. If they wanted to take them, he would give it to them because he was the plug, because he was rich, and if he wanted it, he had it. So he had the Quaaludes, just like probably all the other rich guys at that time had Quaaludes. They didn't have to put them in their drinks. It just made a better time, just like e-pills now are that. So if 20 years from now a case comes out about Lil Wayne and there's 50 women saying that he drugged them and that he put Molly in their drink, does it make sense that he put Molly in the drink, or that he just did Molly with them while they fucked? Right. you feel what I'm saying? Or that's what we was talking about. We was talking about that at work. Like he gave that example. He was like, I mean,
Molly or lean.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Anything. But whatever those drugs back then, now that we are not as familiar with and we might vilify more, we'll think like, oh no, he drugged them. But there's a lot of drugs now that are worse, and there's drugs that, you know, we accept them as being a norm because it's the designer drug right now. It's what's going on. And later in years, we might vilify lean and all this shit because it take out enough people to where it's lean is whack now. Now it's not crack is whack, lean is whack. So now anybody they drugged them with lean and had sex with all these women, and then we're gonna just throw them in jail.
Yeah,
that's
what we're gonna do.
You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta really look. Yeah, man, we gotta look into this shit, man. We can't just take these headlines, because the headlines are meant to draw you in. They're meant to get you to click on them. They get paid for clicks. Right. They don't care. They don't get paid for truth. They get paid for clicks. So what do you think they're gonna do if they try to get money? Put whatever the fuck they want up there to get that click. Yeah. Because it's simple math. You know, and 50 women coming out about Cosby is simple math for a click. I'll put that up there. I bet a million motherfuckers click that shit.
It really is.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting all riled up about it. But
shit,
it's just
crazy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like seeing it. I don't like seeing how we just are so quick to judge each other and to bash each other, shade each other. You know, it's It's not good. We bringing children into this world, and they're seeing us do this. You know, I'm not talking about how to raise their kids. I'm just saying we don't even realize what we're doing sometimes.
Right.
Because it's so normal, we don't realize that we look to judge negatively about somebody's outfit before we look to build it up. You know what I'm saying? We look quicker to judge what somebody's doing, how somebody sounds, quicker than to say, oh, they just being they self. Right. You know? So it's like it's just something that we gotta catch a grip on. Self-reflection. Like, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and see exactly what makes you tick, and you know what your behavior is, and how other people are affected, and how you affect other people, because how people are affected from your actions is in direct conjunction with the good that can and the bad that can be allowed into your life. Right. The good and bad that can be allowed into your life.
It's true.
You put out good, you get good. If you put out bad vibes, you're gonna all of a sudden see all kind of shit just start to happen. You know, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? What is it? What is happening?
Karma. You
know what I'm saying? And it is karma, and it's not like you got a whole guilt on it. It's just we are judged by how we make other people feel.
Right.
So the only way you can do your work early is by trying to treat others the way you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? As long as you try to do that, then you should be good. But if you're just out here just being you and feeling like I'm just going to be me, a lot of that is driven an ego that you might not have been able to control with all the things that are put into our subconscious now. That and why do we dress the way we dress? We dress the way we dress because we were influenced by some rapper at some time, or a group of rappers, or the culture at some time. Like it's certain things that we don't even realize about ourselves that we just didn't pay attention to, but it doesn't change the fact that it's real. There's a reason why we like what we like, you know, and there's a reason why we do what we do. So we gotta be very wary of what we're doing at all times, you know, because it's a direct, like I said, in direct conjunction with the circumstances that happen in your life, your energy.
Yeah, and everybody goes to different things, so what's true to one person is not necessarily true to the other person, you know?
Absolutely.
People don't take that into account. They think it's just one truth always, and it's not true. Mm-hmm. You know, some people live totally different lives than other people, you know? That's what makes it hard for them to fathom what's up or what's really happening in somebody else's life. Mm-hmm. You know, they don't get that.
You got blinders. They can't get out of their own way. Their own vision.
That's why so many people you talk to, they can't fathom the police being brutal sometimes. You know,
right?
And it's like, what? No, they're here for us. No, they're
exactly.
not here for all of us.
Exactly.
You know,
it's because you know what you know.
Right.
And you see what you know. That's what it is. You only can see what you know. If a fucking plumber...
I know what you see.
Right. If you walk into a fucking room and you see a stain on somebody's ceiling, you might just say, oh, they didn't get that painted yet. Damn. But if a plumber walks into the room and sees a stain on the ceiling, he's going to think, oh, damn, okay, if we right here, maybe the kitchen is right under here, which is above here, and maybe this thing happened and this thing happened, or maybe I can go up there and suggest that they do this and that. See, they see the situation 100% differently. You feel what I'm saying? You only see what you know. You can only see what you can fathom.
Yeah, your perspective.
You feel what I'm saying? Everything else you just let off and just you don't even remember it because you couldn't fathom it. So it's gone. You can only fathom what you know. So that's why you got to keep looking to know more, so that you can see more. And I'm telling you that these forces that are attacking us physically, spiritually, mentally, and putting us in the places that they want us to be in, that they have all this shit down packed. They know the universe better than all of us, anybody walking around, and they can use those forces however they want.
The truth is, how can we possibly
fight it?
How do we know anything about fighting it or anything when the things that we're being taught are also manipulated by these same forces?
Absolutely.
You know, but everything you know from when you was in grade school was approved by somebody. You know, it's people pulling the strings. So it's hard for some people to even understand that something is going on. You know, because they just live in that bubble, and it's more convenient for them to just stay in the bubble.
And that's a tactic in itself, because with the economy set the way it is, inflation set the way it is, credit set the way it is, where you have to be in debt to somebody to have credit. Like all that is pushing against ownership, against, you know, other than that, I'm saying that it pushes us in a boat where we're going to have, our lives are going to be convoluted with shit. Where, let alone the headlines and all that, the temperature being, you know, control, the country being controlled by the headlines alone. But you're going to have, your spirit's going to be convoluted. You're going to be dealing with a lot of moving pieces. You know, just if you're not a have and you're a have not. So that's going to cloud your ability to see other things other than what's already on your plate. And that's what they arrange as well. And then they give you the distractions to take you, to give you, so that you can get some away time from your obligations, and just, you don't want to rack your brain. You just want to relax. So this is just shit to entertain you, just to tickle your fancy for the other time. And then all that time where you're stressing and trying to soothe your stressing, they're making moves against you. Like that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but the message has to be that I believe in planting seeds. You know what I'm saying? And I know everybody's not going to be ready to accept every message. But I just believe in putting it out there and continue to put it out there, you know, because I know I was privileged to have a lifestyle. We were just talking about this, but I was privileged to have a lifestyle to where I didn't have to, my soul isn't convoluted as much as others, and I haven't lost that love in myself. And I lost it at times. I'm not saying I ain't going through nothing, but I'm saying that, you know, I didn't lose it enough to where I couldn't find this message and resonate with it. To where I could still then peel myself and build on it, and now then I can tell others how to, or at least give my story and how I turn my negative situation and seeing it come into good by just thinking good and trying to do good. You're not going to do good all the time. You're not going to be perfect. You shouldn't shoot to be perfect, but as long as you look yourself in the mirror when something goes wrong, then you're on the right track. You know what I'm saying? When you can fathom that somebody else is unhappy with you, and then look at yourself instead of just looking at them, then you can start to build and change yourself into what is the self that will protrude a more harmonious life for yourself. You know, and that all comes from your best version of yourself, and that's when you become the best version of yourself, which is the purest, you know, closer to your childlike, unadulterated self. You know, then you'll see the most beautiful circumstances come for you, because you're not resonating in that low vibe. When you're resonating in a low vibe because of the low vibrations around you that you've let lower your vibe, then you're going to have things happen within that vibe, where if you try to resonate above it, you'll see yourself climbing out of it more so. You know, it's all in your mindset. It's all in how you look at things and perceive things. That's the first step in the changing your circumstances. You know, if you're looking down at something and you're mad about it and you can't get over it, you're not going to get over it. And at least not in the best or fastest manner. If you're looking at it like you're almost out of it, or that you're going to get out of it, that's going to move you towards that goal faster. You know, it's all because you're going to be able to think.
You have a focus.
Right, you'll be able to focus and think more on the goal.
Yeah.
To where you're not downing yourself while you need to fix the problem, but you're downing yourself. So that's just pushing you backwards. But if you're encouraging yourself and you already told yourself it's not that bad, then that's going to help you to not down yourself, and then you can think more creatively in getting out of that situation. Right. You know, so that's like logistically how it would happen. But all in all, you just try to live and just say, like, all the bullshit that come, I know it's for a reason. I'm just going to pass every test and love and just keep moving. You know, then things will simplify, and then you won't have much to worry about, because you're just kind of just along. You're doing your work by pushing good. As long as you're being, you know, your best self, that's your work. And then you just put your physical work into whatever you want to do for your goals, and you'll see yourself flourish just in everything as you move. Right. But if that's all in doing your work early and just pushing good vibes, you know, you are what you are to other people. You know, and that's what we have to understand. It's not about you, it's about who you are to other people. You know, and your influence on them. That's what gets you results.
Right.
You know.
how people view you can be totally different from
right. If you come
yourself,
around,
you know?
right, you come around, everybody hating on you, and just like, I hate every time you come around. They are sending their bad energy right into your vessel.
Right.
And they are shoot. You just got shot with some bullshit right in the face.
Yeah.
You know. Actually, I'm thinking that's probably why they be Jewing these celebrities like that. Once they choose to Jew you, then it's like you got all this energy just pushing you down. Just think about that. All the bad energy that went to Cosby and
people
Kavanaugh.
People don't like to think for themselves. They go with the popular opinion, and that's why there is a such thing as a court of popular opinion. Because once you get condemned there, it's hard to come back out of it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's and they just use that shit. And once you're in it, it's like it plays on you. And I just said Kavanaugh, I haven't looked too deep in this situation, but from what I've seen, it looks like he may have really done that shit. I don't know. I'm not speaking on him.
Yeah,
I mentioned him. I don't want nobody to judge that. I don't know. I'm not speaking on him right now. But you know, that's some other shit going on. But still with what was I just saying? I forgot what you
Kavanaugh.
Before Kavanaugh.
Before Kavanaugh, we was talking about the Cosby thing.
I know. Fuck, I forgot when I was train of thought just fast. I hate doing that.
That's all right.
The Kavanaugh shit threw me off. I ain't want to claim him. I don't know. I'm not saying it just because he's white. I love some white people too. You know, I love all people until they show me I can't love them. But I'm just saying, you know, I'm not. I just haven't really looked into his case. But I know the narrative behind people like Cosby, and that's why I saw it reason to look into his case, because I saw what he was doing for us back then. I saw what he was trying to do, and then I found out about the court case. I mean the pipeline, the $341 million pipeline that gave me intent, that gave me, you know, motive to bring him down at that particular time, and that's when everything really hit the fan. And which led to now with him being taken away. And out of all that shit, all them allegations, and half of them, even when they were tried, they were thrown out because they had lies and holes in their story. Actually, two-thirds of them, and the other ones just had some other shit, just no evidence. But regardless, you know, none of them were credible.
Most of them had no evidence.
Right, none of them had evidence, basically.
Yeah.
And so basically, you got 40 or 50 cases with no evidence, and the one that supposedly got him, look at that ratio, 50-1, but look at the one that got him in was bullshit. Shouldn't have even got brought back. The mayor and everybody was in under the table making things happen to get it brought back, probably because of the $341 million deal. I'll get back to y'all on exactly that motherfucking correlation, but you know, that's probably what it was. It's all about money, you feel me? They don't mess with nobody that's not messing with their money. And there's plenty of rapists and plenty of people in the sex trafficking shit, and plenty of people doing way worse shit that was on the stand, on the jury, in the audience, everywhere around that Cosby situation, and trying to Jew this man. You feel what I'm saying? It's like they got solid cases that they know what the fuck they do, but they sit there with a straight face and send you to jail for some bullshit that they probably know is bullshit just for some money. You feel me? That's a capitalist nation. That's what we live in. You know, that's where it's just all capitalism. It's the have and the have-nots. It's classism over racism. You feel me? Only racism is that they keeping us down. That's the only racism that matters in the country. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is bullshit. You know, that's the biggest thing that you can see is going down this country, which is why we had to play teams at times. But classism is what's ruling the country, because classism has black people looking at other black people like they ain't shit. You feel what I'm saying? Classism works in every race. Every race has classism, the way they look at others like they're not as equal to them. So that's worse than racism, because that's you going against your own. You feel me? So that capitalism is the root of all evil in this country. Racism is the distraction in this country. Money is what runs this motherfucker. The whole world. You feel what I'm saying? Racism is all the strategy. It just causes wars, and wars bring money. That's all that shit is. You feel me? Like, but I don't know, y'all.
I think more so it's about power, though, y'all.
Yeah, power too.
Like,
power
they consolidate. All the money is for is consolidating power.
Yeah, you're right.
As long as they keep us working and tired, you know.
Right.
And then you get your
You're absolutely
your
right.
week vacation every year now. You know, but what you do? You go back to work.
Absolutely.
You ain't got time to pay attention to what's going on.
Slave to debt.
Yeah.
You gotta have debt to have credit. You gotta have credit to be anything in this country.
Exactly.
And the country's in debt. So you know the citizens gonna be in debt. The country's in debt.
Right.
And they got money on your head.
Crazy.
So it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. But you are absolutely right. It's all about power, because we don't have to give money to power. We choose to give money to power. We could leave this country, and we choose to give comfort to power, because we could leave and go somewhere else and maybe possibly have a less convoluted life than this one. I'm gonna say almost definitely, but it's just it has to be off the grid to where, and you have to be comfortable with surviving on your own. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's where we feel like
they definitely got them survivalists out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying it's just that far fetched. It's doable. It's just that you have to think you can do it. If we think, no, I ain't leaving this AC and this TV, then you ain't leaving it. But if you can think, you know, it's a better life here at wherever that place that you choose is, and that, you know, it's some shelter here, it's some, you know, whatever here, I can still have a phone. You know what I'm saying? It's just everybody's different. Everything will serve everybody differently. So, you know, but they have us trapped in this situation, this matrix right now, where we couldn't even fathom leaving this AC or this market, or, you know what I'm saying, really having to grow your food. And we ain't with all that shit. I'm not saying I am.
Climate, you ain't having that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like it's they know what they doing, you know, and they know what they did, and our mindset is already where it is. So it's gonna take a lot to break us out of that to even fathom something like that. So we gotta deal with the cards that we been handed in this country, and you gonna have to play the game and play by teams in this country, because that's how they running it. So
you got no choice. They're already doing it.
Right. So it's already, the bed been laid, and we ain't make this bed for ourselves, but we laying in it. So we gotta do what we gotta do. Talk about what we gotta talk about, and not be afraid to talk about it. Right. Because the time is now. Everybody got that motherfucking warning on their cell phone. And what we say about that, yo? What you feel about that?
That shit too wild. Like, I was asleep when it came through. I woke up and saw it. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this? You know, almost like that meme where it was like, Donald Trump, get the fuck off my phone. You know? Because I knew it was just straight
presidential
up
alert.
Yeah, like, what?
Test.
What is
don't
this?
Test shit on my phone.
Right.
Shit. I don't even look at you. I don't even watch you. I don't watch your headlines. I don't look at none of that shit.
That shit went to my
kids.
You don't got nothing to say
to me.
Like, what the hell? Well, you need to send everybody something. What are you planning? What are you doing?
But when you research it, you find out that it was a FEMA warning.
Yeah.
It's FEMA. That it was a warning that's supposed to be coming from FEMA. He wanted to dress it up in his name because he felt it would get his dick hard if he saw presidential alert. And he has access to everybody to think that he has access to your cell phone. He the first one to do it.
All right.
So that's a Trump thing. You know, that's his own little ego, whatever. But I don't give a fuck what he do. I'm saying, what the fuck is FEMA talking about? Why do they need to be contacting us through him or through anybody about anything personal to my cell phone? Yeah. You feel me? That means that in front of our face, they're making moves. So they're preparing for fucking something. You don't need to make a warning system if you're not thinking that you need a warning system.
Right.
We need to see that and see why there's people like us that just can't help but come out and talk about real shit and really looking into what the fuck is going on. And no, we ain't crazy. We just really looking at shit, and it'll make us crazy because we really seeing the answers is crazy. These niggas is crazy. It's right in front of us. It's just you gotta have the right lens on. Because like I said,
right these times. It's happening so much, so prevalently. You gotta be blinding yourself. You gotta be lying to yourself.
Exactly.
Just say, "Oh no, that's not what's happening. That's not what's going on." You know, they kill us every day on TV.
Yep.
You know, and it's like,
and that's what I'm saying. I ain't taking from Cosby shit. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, no, that's all good. You get people get murdered for dumb stuff by the people who are called to protect other people. You know, it's like. It's crazy.
That police brutality shit, man. I'm telling you, it irks my soul.
You ain't the only one.
And it's not out of ordinary. I feel like, I mean, police were made for slaves. It was made to keep to regain property for white folk, and their property in particular was slaves, and slaves trying to take something from them.
Yeah.
So that's what police came from anyway. But besides the tenders who policed the slaves day to day in and out. So basically they became the damn slave catchers, and the slave catchers became the police, and they still slave catching right motherfucking now.
That's absolutely true. And that's all the prison system
the
is.
Fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
slavery.
It's slavery. And that's what Kanye saying. He wanted to fight against the 13th Amendment.
Like
you said what?
I said, except you get like $1 a month or something like that. Something crazy.
Don't get shit. I think it's $1. I mean, I think it's a penny an hour. I think it's 1 cent an hour.
It's crazy.
It was ridiculous. It's slavery, and they're getting paid to contract this labor that these inmates are doing, and they're getting paid $1 cent an hour. That's slavery. Like that's way worse than motherfucking what's going on in China with fucking sweatshops and shit.
When it's like that, the government ain't gotta ask for so much. Just give us
right
$1 and 1 cent. You know, pay you the slave 1 cent. They keep $1 for every single prisoner.
Yep, and they making millions off that.
Right.
That's why he's got all these private penitentiaries, and they be shit. From what I'm hearing, they just be terribly ran and kept up because they don't got any federal money behind it. But it's just and Michael Jordan owns some. Throwing that out there, expose. Hey, I ain't saying all black. Like I said, you love the ones who love you. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm saying, look, I love everybody till they prove that. I'm saying Jordan don't. He has motherfucking penitentiaries for black people.
All right.
I mean, basically, for black people. For basically to house us slaves. You know what I'm saying? He housing slaves. So, for that $1. Like I said, it's classism. It's not about race all the time when it's capitalism.
Don't need it.
Huh?
He for one don't need it.
Yeah, he don't need that. He don't need that buck. He can say
he don't need that.
But he not good with money. He not that as good with money as like LeBron and you know what I'm saying, like Kobe. Like he wasn't.
He still got the hottest shoe out there though.
Yeah, he got the hottest shoe. But I felt like he sold the company. Didn't he sell it or something? I felt like he sold like major rights to the company or something like that to Nike. Yeah, it was something like that.
Crazy.
Because I heard that. I don't know for sure, but I definitely heard that. I need to research that. Don't put that on record, but yeah. Regardless, I ain't trying to just hate on Jordan. Jordan was nasty. I still feel like he's the greatest. Maybe LeBron's the best of all time. I feel like Jordan's the greatest though, in his image. But
LeBron is ridiculous.
Yeah, just with his physical acumen, how he is in his 16th season and still physically more in shape than everybody on the fucking court.
Stay solid, man.
It's ridiculous.
Don't get hurt, bro.
But he puts millions of dollars. I mean, look, and that's why we can't compare eras, because the technology increases every year for the body, for tailor fit for the type of play that's going on in the league now, and the person, tailor fit for the person. He puts millions of dollars into his body,
right? And
I'm not saying that Jordan didn't have that. I mean, he didn't have the work ethic that LeBron had. That's almost like known knowledge that he didn't have the physical, like stay in shape for as long as LeBron has. He didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Kobe had that more than LeBron. I mean, more than Mike. But to keep working and have that dedication to keep your body in check. He didn't have that. He don't have that.
I think Mike was just actually mean.
He was a freak of nature.
He was a freak of nature, but he was also actually mean.
He was an asshole.
Like, he intimidated people. Asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And he used that to push them. Yeah. It pushed him. It's like, I'm going to win. Yep. It's that type of
everything
thing.
Though.
And
they
if
say
anybody
everything.
got in the way of that,
golf,
he's on their ass.
Golf, goddamn arm wrestling, cars.
Gambling.
They say he will play you in Monopoly all night until he wins. Yeah. He was a brat.
I ain't got time for that.
He was a brat.
Yeah,
like he was like, he will call you a bitch until you fucking play him again if you lose. You know what I'm saying? He wanted them to pour the power off the console if he losing in the game or some shit. Like he wanted them kids. Crazy. But he was just nasty as shit in basketball and shit. It was nasty. And he was just because his game was so smooth, charismatic. Like that's
I
what made
heard somebody say that as far as like referees, they ain't fuck with him.
No.
It's certain decisions that go on the big games for LeBron, that would not have been called wrong if
but
it
that's
was Jordan.
but see, but that's where I'll be thinking politics is more into this game now, because that's how they control these games.
Yeah,
you feel me? Is these refs?
The refs,
because they'll throw your whole momentum off with a bad call.
Yeah,
you know, and they'll fuck a whole team. I mean, football too.
Right.
One bad call just changed your whole game. You know, football's worse.
Yeah.
Football's way worse.
It is.
You know, basketball is like it's got to be a combination.
See, because the thing is, with basketball, you get back on offense and defense very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Football, it takes a while. You know, somebody could take all day just running it. Get 4 yards per run, 3 yards per run, and still almost just get by on you. You know, take all your time away to do something. Yeah, and it's crazy how it go down like that. Happen like that all the time in football, though.
Yeah, football, because in football, like you said, when it's these two sides, if you get like 2 bad calls on your defense and it gives up a touchdown, that might push them 2 touchdowns out. Now you desperate if it's the third quarter and the end of the quarter and your offense ain't even doing that much. It's so much that goes into it to where those 2 calls, that one drive, fucked up the whole scheme of the offense for the rest of the game, and then you lose. So it's crazy in football.
Y'all been locked up on defense the whole game, and then you score on them.
Right.
And then they come right back scoring you, and then force you to punt, and then just run the clock down.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Like, it happened that easy.
Yep. Just like that. All that, those 3 things happen in like a matter of 15 minutes. You know? Like 7 minutes, at least 10 minutes. And it's like, damn, game over.
Fuck yeah. And it could have had them game over the whole time.
Doing Hail Marys and shit. And up they lost. You know, that's how Tom Brady be getting over. Them motherfucking recipe on his side.
I remember watching the Ravens get like that. Be
bad. Oh, man. The Ravens, we used to always had just one little thing fuck us over. We had that 1 year. But we used to always have this one thing fuck us up.
Yep.
One play, one call, one drop. And we lose like we was always supposed to be in Super Bowl. But last like 4 years before we won, it was like we going to Super Bowl this year. We gonna do it this year.
It's been like that for a long time with them though.
Yeah,
like they would always get into the playoffs and win one round and then be done.
Steelers gets every time.
Yeah,
them motherfuckers, Steelers and Patriots, worst ones.
Steelers, Patriots. I think the Colts did it to us before.
Yeah. I know that.
I used to hate watching Peyton, man.
That shit, yeah. Peyton on the when he was on the Van Broncos. He was nasty then too. Busting ass. That was crazy when Flacco beat both of them. Beat the Broncos and then Patriots. That shit was crazy, you know. Because the only one who had did that before in the playoffs was Sanchez. Mark Sanchez. He did it the year before. He beat Peyton Manning and he beat Tom Brady back to back in playoff series. Wow. And then he did the butt fumble. And everything. No, that wasn't that year. That wasn't the year after. That was probably like a year or 2 years after that, though. I'm not gonna lie, the butt fumble. That was probably like 2 years after that. But yeah, Flacco did the same thing the year after and ended up winning. But yeah, we ain't gonna talk about football. Fuck football. Carlton doesn't watch football. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
He don't watch football. I wasn't watching. I still don't really watch it. I've seen a half of a game this season, but I'm not all the way like crazy on the boycott. Only because I just know that even if I don't, the NFL is not the place for us to win that battle. So that's why I'm not crazy disappointed at the NFL, because I feel like they did what I expect them to do. You know, like
I just put it like this: like anywhere you can fight it, anywhere where you are successful.
Yes. When
you choose to fight it, you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I ain't so successful in other things. You know what I'm saying? It's just with this. I tell the truth. I had already not been watching football for a little while before this happened, so it's a little bit easier for me to just be like, man, fuck this shit. I'm out. You know,
right.
I wasn't paying attention.
I was on
really invested to it. You know, so. It was like, because this was probably around the time when, you know, they were starting to call a lot of big hits. You know what I'm saying? So things were slowing down. You wasn't seeing as much of it, you know, a huge hit the way you would have back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like early 2000s.
Like we were raised on Ray.
Yeah.
We was raised on Ray.
Yeah, get to
I was raised off Ray and
yeah.
Reed. You feel me? So, we love seeing that smack. And, yeah, they are discouraging the defense more and more every year at doing their job. And now it's getting dangerous to where they can't fall on the QB. Because, of course, they're going to try to not fall on the QB instead of just taking that penalty. Right. But the game is going to put them in that position more times than not.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, that's this new rule. That's the big thing right now. That's that you can't put your weight because Clay. God damn, I gotta remember his name.
Clay Matthews.
Yeah, Clay Matthews. Yeah. Shit, Clay Matthews had got like 2 fines and 2 penalties back-to-back games. Because he had fell on top of him. And the second one, it was like he really didn't want to. He tried to pull his arms back, but it's just hard to because of your momentum. And I mean, the game's getting even faster. You know what I'm saying? So if you gotta do even more to get to there, crazy, but then when you get to there, you gotta slow down and think enough to where am I going to fall on top? Of? Am I not going? Do I need to wrap around? Like you can't. The football is not a thinking sport. It's a reacting sport more. You got to do your thinking before and your preparation before the game. You got to react once you in the game. So you taking a reactionary sport and trying to put thinking into it, and that's how people get hurt. And now people are like pulling, you know what I'm saying, ACLs and shit because they trying to slow up and pull up when they're already going too fast. They already too big to be going as fast as they is. Yeah. So because it's a train wreck.
They wouldn't be able to do it if they didn't train all the time. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's why the average person can't do that. You know.
So now they're going to have to start teaching these kids to be running full speed and stopping on a dime to try to do some dumb shit. Like if you fucking...
Your body not even built that way.
Right. You trying to get around a blocker to get to the ball. The person jumps up for the pass. They come down. You make a tackle and it's a penalty. Right. Like you had to work the adrenaline, effort to get past this NFL caliber receiver to get to the play. You get to the play, he gets the ball. You got to think in that split second, did he take 2 steps yet? Did he fucking make a football move yet? Before is my helmet anywhere near his helmet? And then you start just going for the legs, and then your receiver's getting leg injuries. Like it's like football's imploding on itself right now. I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's when I got out, man. I said that's when I got out because it was just.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. It makes you think too much. It's making you think too much. And then they got this motherfucking the politics in it, so it's making you go into that vibe every time you watch football. So it's like
that's why it was easy for me to just be like, man, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah, you know? I lost vibes on it a long time ago.
It ain't that I don't watch nothing though. I watch NBA.
Yeah. It got me. You know, that's a distraction that has me distracted the most.
Well, that's the time I go out the most. That's
the most time wasted in media is for the NBA. Probably I can say, and I be trying to watch condensed games sometimes, but right now I love watching the Warriors because they're just entertaining and they're so dominant. And I'm a Lakers fan, so this year it's gonna be like I'm watching both of these games, almost damn near all of them, because I got DVR. I'm gonna have the game time at whatever it is. I'm gonna be able to see the fucking games, so I'm probably gonna indulge in them. But I still gotta keep up on these politics and keep up on what's going on. Of course, so we can talk about them here. So I'm gonna have a lot of time. I'm going to fit basketball into that time, though. That's the problem. And I'm not trying to be on the show talking about sports all the time. That's not what we here to do. But it's gonna come up. But I'm just saying, you know, like. I know that basketball is probably gonna come on this show because I'm gonna be watching that shit. So it's all good though. So we go ahead
on sports,
huh?
I said we can do a whole.
Hell yeah! This is gonna be a whole nother segment. It's gonna be the something corner. That's what we going. Or something's locker. All right. Watch. It's gonna be something I'm gonna make up. But but all right, we just gonna cut this one right here, man. It's good to have Carlton here with me. Follow him on IG. At 410 Slaughter. 410 Slaughter. Of course, follow me on IG at B__water. Follow the page B_water podcast. This has been a B-4ReaLL moment we had with Carlton, and we gonna have many more other people. I mean, anybody else who wants to be on the show or to if you got an opinion on whatever we said. Hit me on the email, thebwaterpodcast@gmail.com. That's thebwaterpodcast@gmail.com. and we can talk about whatever. If it's just on the DM, that's cool. If we want to have a conversation on the phone, that's cool. But I really want to implement other people's opinions on the show, because I want everybody in the conversation so we can all grow and learn together, because that's what it's about. We need to all find what we all need to be doing, instead of be going in these different directions how we've been going, and all doing what they all like. They set these separations up to where if you're in this religion, you might not talk to people because they're in this religion, or if you believe this, or if you chill white people, you're this, and it just keeps us, all these minds are being pushed away from each other instead of coming together and trying to figure out what we need to be going in one direction. And if people all come together, that's more numbers that will be in that direction, which makes more power put into that action. But they don't want that. So that's what we try to fight. I'm trying to fight it personally, but we got to keep making connections with like minds so that we can all get on the same page and push and change other people that are around us to be in that direction as well. But I ain't gonna rip y'all head off no more. We gone. It's the Be With It podcast. Welcome.